Welcome back to another episode of the Retired Hoopers podcast. I go by the name the Brooklyn Buckeye. I wanted to put a little video together talking about over 40, create content, here's why. I keep looking down because I got a little notepad. I don't want to just ramble and just saying stuff off the top of my head. So put a little something together talking about if you're over 40, why you should create content. And here's why. The pros and the cons. This is what I think because I'm actually in this state myself as far as creating content being over 40. So here we go. It said you're probably already sharing content via Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram, but without monetization. You're probably already sharing content, so why not put it on a platform where you could be monetized and you actually could make money on the content you're putting out? So that was just one thing that you probably want to do because you could take advantage of the monetization opportunities by turning your sports knowledge into coaching, courses, or even memberships. So that's a huge bonus on why you should get into creating content, especially if you're an elite athlete, you play at a high level and you have a certain expertise and knowledge on certain things, right? Number 2 I wrote down was attracting sponsorships. That's a possibility. Speaking gigs and potentials and speaking opportunities. Inspire others by sharing your stories. Nobody could tell your stories like you can. You come from a unique perspective on what you went through, and there's a lot of other athletes and people who did the same things that you did who may want to hear how you went about it or how you feel about that. So that's another one. That was a big one for me. I had to put a little star next to that, and that's inspire others. Create a lasting legacy by documenting insights and milestones. That's huge because I think most of you guys probably have Facebook. You know how on Facebook stuff pop up 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Same thing for this type of platform. Only thing you probably could get monetized for that depending on your work and your consistency. And you also could go down in the past and see what was your thought process thinking back then. So I thought that was dope. A wealth of knowledge. If you're over 40, you have a wealth of knowledge that you can share with people that's 20 or in the 20 to 35-year-old range, let's just say. You could share a lot of stuff that you've been through. You probably have over 10,000 hours in one particular field or another. So I think that's very important. Now let's get into some of the things that hesitate people from wanting to go ahead and create content, myself included. So fear, not all of these I'm included, but whatever. Fear of being on camera or worry about ageism and skepticism from younger audiences. I can understand that, but depends on who you're making content for, which audience, which niche, which age group. I also understand people don't want to be judged by other people, but that's neither here nor there. Overwhelmed. They don't want to do thumbnails. They don't know how to get into algorithm. They don't want to learn all the different new stuff that deal with computers and stuff like that. So that causes people to be hesitant. People over 40 is a time restraint to be a content creator. They have family. You're like me, you're coaching, you're traveling, you're trying to come up with content, production, and things like that. So that deter people from wanting to add something more on their plate, even though they may have a lot to say. So that's something that turns people off. Next one is uncertain about what to share, how to monetize, how to maintain authenticity. All of those things you don't really have to worry about. Talking about what to share, you have stuff like ChatGPT nowadays. How to monetize it, You have ChatGPT, Google AI, Google Assist, Copilot, all these different forms that will tell you how to do that. How to maintain authenticity. I think that's a big one because I don't want to make this video too long. Because most people have, if you're over 40, you probably in some type of career, you have a work life or a work personality, you have an at-home personality, and you don't want people to get into your business. I know I'm kind of like that. I don't want people all up in my business for whatever I want to do or what have you. So I get that, but nevertheless, I think it's definitely something that people that's over 40, over 45, over 50 have to start considering if you want to get out of the typical grind of the 9 to 5, and you have to start coming more into this digital age and get out of our comfort zone and make it happen. So just something quick. I thought it was an interesting topic for people in my demographic, maybe an ex-athlete, maybe over 40, maybe looking for a side hustle, maybe looking for different ways to earn income and things of that nature. This type of stuff is for you. So let me know what you think. Get in my comment section, give me a comment if you stayed this long. Like it if you liked it, or if you disliked it, dislike it. Make sure you subscribe. Live life, make it happen, baby.